The Quran declares, "Indeed, the plot of Satan is weak." Quran 4:6. But how does a believer make their home safe from the whispers and harm of the unseen? What turns an ordinary house into a fortress that no devil can enter? Today we will uncover the Prophet Muhammad's guidance, peace and blessings be upon him, about the power of Surah Al-Baqarah, the longest chapter of the Quran, and how its recitation protects a home from the Jinn. This teaching is preserved in Sahih Muslim, Hadith 7 and 80, one of the most authentic sources in Islam. The companions lived in a world where the unseen was real. They knew of jinn who could whisper, mislead, or even attempt to harm. The Prophet did not leave them unprotected. He gave them clear guidance, and at the center of it was the Qur'an itself. He said, "Do not make your houses like graves." Indeed, Satan flees from a house in which Surah Al-Baqarah is recited. Sahih Muslim 7:8. The imagery is striking. A house without Quran is like a grave, lifeless, empty, vulnerable. But a house where Surah Al-Baqarah is recited is alive, filled with light, and guarded against the devils. Imagine the streets of Medina at night. In one house, voices rise as a family recites together from the Quran. The verses of Surah Al-Baqarah echo through the rooms. In another house, there is silence, no remembrance, no Quran. The Prophet's words draw the line between these two homes. One is protected. The other is open to the whispers of the unseen. But why Surah Al-Baqarah in particular? What makes this chapter so powerful that Satan himself flees from it? Surah Al-Baqarah is the longest chapter of the Quran, revealed in Medina after the Prophet's migration. It contains 286 verses, covering guidance in belief, law, worship, morality, and protection from the enemy. The Prophet, peace be upon him, said, "Recite Surah Al-Baqarah, for taking recourse to it is a blessing, and giving it up is a cause of grief, and the magicians cannot confront it." Sahih Muslim 804. It is the surah of protection, of strength, of victory. Within it lies Ayat-ul-Kursi 225, the verse of the throne, described as the greatest verse of the Qur'an, a shield against Satan until dawn. It also ends with two powerful verses, Z 285-286, about belief, forgiveness, and supplication. The Prophet said of these two verses, "Whoever recites the last two verses of Surah Al-Baqarah at night, they will suffice him." Sahih Al-Bukhari 5009, Sahih Muslim 1807. This explains why Surah Al-Baqarah drives Satan away. Its verses are filled with commands to worship Allah alone, prohibitions of shirk, warnings against hypocrisy, rulings on purity and justice, and reminders of the covenant between Allah and His creation. Its words burn the devils like fire, and they cannot remain where it is recited. The companions lived this teaching. They would recite Surah Al-Baqarah in their homes, not as a one-time act, but as a regular practice. Their homes became filled with the Quran, and they lived under its protection. The Prophet's warning, "Do not make your houses like graves," was a command to keep life in the home. A house without Quran is spiritually dead, vulnerable to the unseen. But a house with Surah Al-Baqarah is vibrant, filled with angels, and guarded from harm. The Prophet's guidance about Surah Al-Baqarah is as urgent today as it was in Medina. First, it teaches us that our homes must be filled with Quran. We live in times of distraction, phones, television, noise. But the Prophet warned us that a house without Quran is like a grave. If Surah Al-Baqarah drives Satan away, what excuse do we have for leaving our homes unprotected? Second, it teaches us the power of regular recitation. Protection is not gained by one verse once in a while. It comes from consistent remembrance. Families in Medina would sit together and recite. Today, every household can set aside time for Surah Al-Baqarah, even if over several days. The point is continuity, not speed. Third, it highlights the connection between guidance and protection. Surah Al-Baqarah is not only a shield, It is a manual for living. Its verses guide us in prayer, fasting, charity, honesty, justice, family life, and reliance on Allah. A home that lives by its teachings is a home truly alive. Fourth, it shows the mercy of Allah. He did not leave us defenseless. He gave us words that scatter the devils, verses that purify our homes, and practices that guard our children. Reciting Surah Al-Baqarah is not beyond anyone. It is available to every believer with a copy of the Qur'an in their hands. Finally, it reassures us. The unseen is real, the jinn exist, Satan whispers, but their power is weak. A house filled with Qur'an is stronger than them all. The Prophet's promise stands. Satan flees from a house in which Surah Al-Baqarah is recited. So tonight, when the day ends, open the Qur'an. Gather your family. Let the words of Surah Al-Baqarah fill your home. Do not let your house become a grave. Instead, let it become a fortress of light, guarded by the words of Allah.